Welcome folks, this is Wear and Tear, yet another YouTube outdoor and gear review channel. Today I took my wife on a little day trip to the castle of Waxenberg. Waxenberg is an interesting name. It's made up of two words. The word berg is mountain, and wax means something sharp or cutting, a cutting object. And Waxenberg means basically like something like a cutting mountain because it was built on this sharp cliff. So this is where the name Waxenberg comes from. The castle, the way you see it, its ruins actually, comes from the 13th century. Originally it was owned by the Habsburg family. It was one of their many outfits all over Europe. And now it is owned by the Starhemberg family. They still own it. They also have many outfits all over the area. They have a newer castle down the hill, more modern building, very beautiful as well. There are some 350 years old trees around that, so pretty awesome. Now as for the Waxenberg facility, it saw its fair share of action, like in the farmers' uprisings in 1626. It was taken over by the farmers, so the lords had to move. Basically the farmers took the facility over, they plundered it, they looted it, and they damaged it heavily. Well, their punishment afterwards was, because of course the uprising was beaten down, their punishment was that they had to renovate the facility. They had to build it up again. But in 1756 the castle was heavily damaged through lightning, and afterwards it gradually became a ruin because it was basically given up more or less by the family Starhemberg that owned it. Now if you climb Waxenberg, the tower, you will notice that it is basically like a museum. It is very much maintained by local people who spend their free time and money and renovate the whole area, make it safe for tourists so you can actually climb the ruins, and so nothing happens to you, nothing is unnecessarily damaged. The one tower that you see, the flatter tower, is from the 16th century, so it's a more modern installation. But the high tower and everything, this is stuff from the 13th century. So if you climb it, you see basically the whole of Upper Austria. To the south you see the Alps. Not so much today, you can see it with your eyes, but I don't know if it comes across in the drone footage. But you can see the Alps, you can see Linz, you can see to the north, you can see into Czech Republic. It's just an awesome spot. You see large parts of the Mühlviertel. So a great vantage point. Yeah, this was one of the castles that back then promised peace and security to the local population, but certainly was also an installation that is kind of, it shows rulership. It certainly had some uncomfortable emotions for the local population back in the day as well. But those are stories and tales of old. You see how people suffered, how people thrived. It's pretty fascinating to see what previous generations were able to pull off, to build with their more primitive tools, with their bare hands, but also with their sharp minds, because it's not a little thing. I mean, the structure comes from the 13th century, large parts of it, even though it's only walls, but it still holds up to the test of time pretty well. Wonder how our reinforced concrete will do in only a few hundred years. So this was Wear and Tear. I hope you enjoyed my little explanation. Now enjoy the footage. Bye bye.